as their mortgage brokers when it comes to down payment assistance programs. If they qualify for a city program or state program, it's perfectly fine. We are always thinking what's best for our clients, right? As real estate agents, we want to get referrals from them. We want to build trust with these clients. So you want to guide them whatever is best for them. Hey, go to this website, see which down payment assistance programs are allowed, which lenders are eligible for this loan programs, and go with them. You're guiding your clients. Okay. If they do come to us, guys, we do have a down payment assistance program which allows up to 3% down payment or up to $15,000. It is not free money. It is something where it's added towards the second lien towards that property. So that $15,000 will need to get paid back, right? Will need to be paid back to the lender once your borrower refinances the house or pays off the first mortgage. But it is still a good program because maybe your clients were not aware of the closing cost, and now with the down payment, that 3% or 4% that they have, they can use that for their closing cost, and for the down payment assistance, it can come from UWM. Okay, so main thing is as long as your client knows that hey, this $15,000 is not free money, they do have to pay this back, and there's no upfront cost for this for them, and basically when they do sell the house or refinance, then they have to pay it back. There's no interest being added to this $15,000, and they don't have to pay this back. We mentioned this in our office meeting as well, and one of the agents says, hey, if I want to pay this back before this time, should I? And we highly recommend that you pay off extra payments on the first lien. It will have a more better effect than paying off this $15,000. Okay, so it is a helping hand for your client. So if they're interested, we can help them out with 3% down payment assistance program. Okay. Again, guys, we want to be a guide for our homeowners, especially the first-time home buyers. And there are some different real estate scams that's going on, right? As long as we're talking about it in these meetings, maybe you can remember them. And when you're talking to your clients, especially during the closing time, so there's like they rarely happen, but we don't want ever that to happen ever with any of our clients. Okay, the number one is your wire transfer fraud. This usually happens when you about to do a closing and you get an email saying, hey, you have to wire $300,000 to this account, and here's the information. And the email looks very legit. It seems like it's coming from an attorney or a loan officer or a lender, and they usually, just like in the email itself, they're just changing one or two letters to make it seem like, hey, it is coming from a legitimate source, but it's not. So if they're getting any emails like this, you want to tell your client, hey, when you're sending any wire, you should be double, triple checking with your loan officer and your attorney. Hey, I got this email, forward that email to them and see if it's legit or not, right? If you have to pick up the phone call or pick up your phone and make that phone call to that loan officer or that attorney. Hey, I'm about to send out, or I'm about to make a certified check and mail it. Should I? Right? Because these funds, once you send it, it's almost impossible to get them back. So you want to tell them, hey, any email that you get with any amount to be wired or have a certified checks, stop right there and make sure that you check with the right sources. Okay. Second is your loan funding, loan flipping, right? These things are where someone, a lender is basically saying that to the borrowers that can't afford the property or afford that a loan itself, and they're really pushing them. Hey, you should be refinancing, or you should be getting this mortgage, especially for senior citizens, right? We had few clients like this where they receive some phone calls like that. My thing is like, hey, just stay away from them. If they feel like, hey, they're getting a phone call that they're not aware of, simply hang up. Okay, see, they need to speak to a licensed loan officer or a licensed attorney and see what their situation is. Okay. There are some mortgage and foreclosure relief scams, especially people who are going through, reverse mortgages, or they're falling behind on their payments, right? The late payments and everything, and they may get a phone call, hey, we're gonna help you out. End of the day, they're not helping. They're gonna be taking information from them and make it worse for them. Okay. So again, they need to make sure that anytime they're getting a phone call telling them, hey, you need to file a bankruptcy or you need to do this or do that, they should not be talking to anybody over the phone like that. Okay. And there's some deed and title fraud as well, guys. This is happening when the sellers don't even know that their deed has been transferred, right? You could be sitting at home and making your mortgage payments, and then you all of a sudden find out, hey, the property doesn't even belong to me anymore. So the best thing to do, even if you are a homeowner right now, you should be regularly checking your title, property's title. You can do it online and just make sure that, hey, the property's title is under your name and the deed has not been transferred to anyone. Okay. You already make sure this is why we say that your title insurance is there to protect you against deed and title fraud. There are times when we're reviewing the CD with our clients and it says, hey, you got to pay $2,600 for title insurance for owner's policy, but it says optional. If it says optional, should I really need to pay that or not? We always say, hey, do you want somebody to knock on your door later on and say, this is my property? No, right? So why not? You're about to buy a house and it's going to be, all these expenses are there. Why not pay, a title insurance? So this way you don't have to worry about anybody knocking on your door and saying, this is my house. Okay. And there's some rentals listing scams as well, right? They will take a fake listing, rental listings to attract some offers. And, there's some people who would actually send Zelle or wire money beforehand. Simply put, if you are renting or looking to rent and everything, you just want to be protected. You want to see the property first. And once you're signing the lease, this is when you should be putting down the funds. Okay. Everybody should know this, that now we are living in New York. We can only ask for one security deposit, one first month, and one brokerage fees. Okay. So 3 rents altogether. Okay. If you are part of any rentals that has a city assistant program, it could be Section 8, it could be City Fabs or anything like that, you have to copy me on that. Okay, you have to copy me on lucky@ljrealtyteam.net because end of the day, my license is being, sent with them. I have signed the documents for you guys. So anytime you're sending any emails to the caseworker, please make sure that you're copying me on that. Okay, because I'm having issues with few agents and I want to make sure that we don't repeat that, right? So if you have any of my signatures and from old copies and you're trying to make a photocopy of that, guys, that is a violation, right? It is not tolerated. Anytime you have a rental, you're gonna make 15% of your rental if it's a city fabs. So the check might be 3,000, 4,000. That's big ups to you. You're doing it, but let's do it the right way, right? You come to the office, bring all the paperwork, let me review it, sign it, then you send it to the caseworker. Okay. The main documents that we need is your lease agreement, the agency disclosures, and any documents that you're sending to the caseworker, including intent to rent. Okay. So the landlord is signing this. Hey, my intent is to rent this property for this much price. All the documents are provided. You guys have those documents. I just need copy of those for our records. Okay. All right, guys. Next, I'm gonna share my screen here where you guys have seen it. KV Core is now called Bold Trail. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So if we go to KV Core, once we click on that link, I'm gonna log out 1 second. Okay. It may take you to this website, Bold Trail. And with Bold Trail is the same logins as KV Core. This is not something that we at LJ did. This is what KV Core did. KV Core is a part of a bigger company called Inside Real Estate Inc. And they're the one who upgraded from KV Core to Bold Trail. Same functionality, even better. It's cleaner look, which we're gonna go through right now. But just the logins, just make sure you guys are using the KV Core one. Okay. So once you're logged in, first I want to review your left panel here. Definitely got cleaner. You have your dashboard. You have your contacts, you have your listings. Okay, so we're gonna go through that. The top piece right here has search. So if you have a client named, let's say Smith, you just type that in there, you will see all the Smiths in your database. Okay, if you put in Khan, and you will see all Mr. Khans there. Okay, so you can do an easy search just on this big search bar right on top now. Okay, so if you have a phone number, you can probably put in the phone number, and you will see your clients with that phone number as well. If you have an email, you can do the same thing. Okay, and you'll see the same thing there. Okay, that is your top, much cleaner top panel, much cleaner, and you guys can use that to search your clients. If you want to add a client, you're clicking on add contact, and you do the same. This looks, the only color changed, but everything else is same in your, when you're adding a contact. Okay, so that's your top part here. In your dashboard, every morning, I think everybody should log in and look at the activity. Hey, this client, what is going on with this client? What is going on with this client? And take some action on it. Anytime I see a property being viewed more than one time, I definitely want to call this agent or call this client and say, hey, do you want me to schedule a showing for you? Right? Take some action on the clients that are doing some activity on your website. Okay. Next, in your contact, you should start, you can have different filters that you guys can create for your clients. Okay, I have created different lead sources and everything like that, deals under contract and all that. You guys can create different filters. Simply start searching for things that you want, and then you can save your filters on this panel here. Okay, maybe you want to see all your clients, then you want to see all your contracts, and then you want to see all the deals that are closed. Okay. Next, guys, and sorry, in contacts, make sure when I'm following up with them that every one of them have a alert set up. Okay, I'm gonna make a separate video for alerts, so we don't have to go through it now. But showing every agent that, hey, we're gonna, using the new system, how we're gonna set alerts and follow up with our clients. Okay, under listings, I'm checking different inventory for different areas that I'm going to be serving. These are the 4 different filters that I view every single day. So I'm in applied filters. I have 4 of them. The first one I check is the single family properties that are in Queens and Nassau. Right? I'm skimming through this every single morning just to see, hey, if anything catches my eye for any of my clients. Right? Next is 2 family. I want to see 2 family property that's going to be in Queens or Nassau. And I can do that. Next is I have commercial property in Nassau. I just want to see what's new properties that's going to be commercial, not residential, just commercial. So this was the last one that I saw, and this one I'm seeing with you guys right now together. Okay. Okay. So how you guys gonna set it up? Basically, type in any information that you guys want in here. It could be the price, it could be the location, any filters that you want, you set it up. And then all the way on the bottom, you're gonna hit save filter. Okay. It makes your life much easier when, as a real estate agent, you just want to view what's new on the market. If you're serious about real estate, you should be keeping an eye on inventory on daily basis, right? So then you have your deals that you're going to be closing. You can start tracking them in there as well. You have more, if you want to customize your website in any way, any tool that you are able to customize, go for it. You know, your website is yours. You guys can customize in any way. It's perfectly fine. Okay. You want to go through their marketing tools. So now KB Core is going on another level when they're building a lot of marketing tools within the system. so you guys can review them. We have reviewed, I believe, few agents started using voicemail drop, so where we can start sending all the people that are in your database different voicemails. Hey, are you interested in buying a house, or following up with them? So you don't have to call them, and you can make you can drop hundreds of voicemails within few minutes. Okay. So any of these tools you should be learning more and more about. And I don't know out of 70 agents which agent which like which program. The main thing to do is actually just use it, right? Try to figure out more, find out more information about them. But the most important parts you have is your dashboard, your contacts, and your listings. Okay? Even if you're brand new, you have no clients, listing is something that you should be paying attention on daily basis. And obviously, if you do have clients, they should have your alert set up in KV Core, and make sure that you're following up with them on regular basis. Okay. Okay. There's more options in here. There's more things that going on in KV Core. You guys can see different things in here. I would recommend that you guys actually play around with this system. Okay. It is definitely a cleaner look. Again, there are 70 agents, and we have 50 seats available in KV Core. And there's a lot of them just hanging their license. But if you need to have access, if you don't have access for some reason, let me know, and so I can reactivate your account. Okay. All right, guys. Any questions on KV Core Bold Trail for now? Okay. Okay. Test it out and let me know how it goes. On last meeting, we went through ChatGPT, right? We said, hey, instead of Googling different questions and finding out answers, I highly recommend that you guys start using ChatGPT, right? Because it's getting better and better day by day, and it has the answers that you may need. So why not do some research on that? Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen again and go show you guys what it looks like. Okay. So first, we added a new link for you guys in our ljagent.com realtor tools. So this is going to be in the third row here. It's called ChatGPT. You simply click on it. So now this is a new thing that they did. Right now I'm logged in, but you don't even have to log in. You can simply ask your question just by clicking on that link and just start asking your question. Okay. If you do have account with Google, you can you can set up a free account with ChatGPT, which I highly recommend, because it will save all the questions that you have asked previously. Okay. There's a paid version, there's a free version. I recommend that you start with the free one. If you're asking a lot of questions, they might start limiting your time, just like how it did for me this morning. But if you want to pay $20 per month, go for it, but it's not needed at this stage. Okay. So simply put, these are some of the questions that I have asked. So first question was like, hey, how can first-time home buyer can be protected in a contract? Okay, it's saying the first thing you should do is hire a real estate agent. This is where you come in. They need to get some legal advice. They need an attorney. It's required in New York, right? They need to include the contingency clauses. These are the exact same things that I or you would say to your clients, and ChatGPT is saying the same exact thing. So you guys can verify, hey, is it really saying the truth, or is there something that you're not satisfied with these answers? 90% of the time you will see accurate answers in there. Okay. So simply put, I just asked a simple question and it gave me a whole different essays with different bullet points. So the contingents, as we all know, one is the finance, right? I have a pre-approval from a loan officer, but I don't know if I will actually get the loan or not. So I want to make sure that, hey, financing contingency is in the contract. I want to make sure my home inspection contingency is in the contract. My bank appraisal contingency is in the contract. Okay, sale of current home contingency is also in the contract. Okay, so there's a lot of things that is saying that, hey, seller's disclosures, go through those. Your title search and insurance, have a home warranty, go through your closing costs and fees, right? Do a final walkthrough. Every little thing a loan officer or a real estate agent would be guiding their clients, ChatGPT is saying the same exact thing. So when you have a question that before you want to do a research on Google, why not ask ChatGPT and see what kind of answers that you get? Okay, and you can have a real conversation with them, basically asking more and more questions about that. Hey, could you tell me more about this financing contingency, or could you tell me more about bank appraisal contingency? Right, and you can have a longer conversation going back and forth, just like a human being with ChatGPT. Okay. Another one I asked was like, hey, bank statement mortgage loans, who is it good for? Right? And they will tell you, hey, self-employed individuals, small business owners, right? Everything a loan officer would say are stated by ChatGPT. So instead of being scared of AI, saying that, hey, artificial intelligence is taking over, it can benefit as well, right? So if it can benefit us as well, so why not use that technology at this stage? When I asked at the meeting, hey, how many people know ChatGPT? And not a lot of people did. When we asked Google, every single one person that on earth knows Google. So why not, as a professional, right, use these tools to better yourself? You have a question, you wanna, that you wanna Google, instead of Googling it, ask ChatGPT. Okay, so I said, hey, do I need 20% down payment for conventional loan? It says 20% down payment is often recommended for conventional because it allows you to avoid paying your PMI, your mortgage insurance. However, it's not required, right? Some lenders may allow lower down payment, sometimes 3 to 5%. So I said, then my follow-up question too is, hey, which conventional loans allows less than 20% down payment? And then it gave me a whole list of conventional 97 loan, Fannie Mae Home Ready, Home Possible, Borrower Smart, right? Plenty of different options. And then again, if you want to learn more about Home Ready, you say, hey, give me all the guidelines for Home Ready or Home Possible. Okay. One of the other questions that we asked was, hey, how do I start the mortgage process? What do I do first? Right, and it's telling you exactly this is going to be the questions that your first time home buyer is asking you. So why not use this tool to prepare yourself how you're going to answer those questions? This is a great tool, especially for brand new agents, right? Because you really don't have the full, because you haven't closed enough deals to have full knowledge of all these things. But these fingertips, these research tools are at your fingertips. Okay. What is the difference between FHA versus conventional loans? And just go with different options. It will give you all the pros for FHA, all the cons for FHA. Same thing, pros for conventional and cons for conventional as well. And it will give you a summary. If you don't like the answer, you say, hey, I need more explanation on this topic, and it will do that for you. Okay. Okay. How much money do I need to buy a home? Again, it will give you a full breakdown of that. Okay. And for real estate agents, it's like, hey, how does a new real estate agent can close more deals? Right? That's a normal question to ask. Like, hey, I'm brand new. How do I get started? And it tells you exactly what we need to do. We need to develop a strong network. We need to leverage our social media, right? Our loan officer have a lot of restrictions when it comes to social media, but not real estate agents. As long as real estate agents can put our company name, put our address, the phone number, and you guys will be in compliance and posting different things that's you guys can reshare, that everything that NAR is putting up or anything related to real estate. So if you're a realtor, you should be posting anything related to real estate to get your name out there. Okay. All these things are really useful when it comes to asking questions. So as we mentioned in the last meeting, like, hey, if it's a Google thing, you're Googling it, you're checking 5 different websites to get the answers, right? You might see ads in there, you might see this, you don't know if this information is good or not. ChatGPT is doing all that research on the back end for you and trying to summarize all this information. Note that it does not tell you, hey, I got this information from this source or anything like that. It just tells you, hey, this is the information and how it is. Okay, I want every one of us to leverage from this. Simply put, just go to ChatGPT or even Realtor Tools and click on ChatGPT link in there. Okay. Any questions, concerns about ChatGPT? Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna come back. Okay. Next, guys, is that cash reserves. Not all loans require this, but there might be some loans like non-QM loans. When a client is not going with the normal conventional or FHA QM loans, they're going with a non-QM loan, then may we ask for them cash reserves. So if the mortgage payment is $5,000, we say, hey, you need to have 3 months of cash reserves, which means $15,000 extra in your bank account just for rainy days. If something goes wrong and you cannot make that payment, we know that you have cash reserve for at least 3 months. Really, depending on the lender, that can go from 3 months to 6 months, really depending on how many units they're buying, what is their credit scores look like, and all that other stuff. And it really depends from lender to lender. Some lenders will say, hey, only 3 months cash reserves are fine, and some might ask for 6 months. Okay. So just tell your client if they're going with the normal FHA or conventional QM loans, they don't have to worry about this. Okay. Next, we have two new listings by AP here. One of them is, oh, sorry, one new listing by AP here. It's in Brooklyn, listed for $999, and it is a lot. Oh, it's in Brooklyn, so you know there's a lot of potential in there. I know a lot of our agents are serving Queens and Nassau, but if you have a client in Bushwick, you guys can reach out to them. Another one is in Brooklyn by Ravi here. This is listed for $875, and it's 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Again, if you have a client, please reach out to Ravi. Okay. Next, guys, obviously KB Core, we said Ball Trail now, but needs to be open every single day. You need to review your clients every single day. If you really want to close more deals this year or next year, you got to make sure that you're following up with your clients through the system that we have. We have few agents that are using Collab through MLS. It's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you guys can convert, follow up with your clients, and close some deals. Okay. Transaction desk. When we're closing, this is where I'm going towards transaction desk and trying to pull out all the information that we need, your disclosures, the offer sheets, so we don't even have to ask you. Okay. If you don't or you're not using transaction desk, whatever documents that you do have, we do need them at the closing table so we can scan it and put it in our system. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to be ending the meeting in the next 5 minutes or so. Just make sure that our job is to be under contract. If you're not under contract right now, you should be asking yourself, hey, how could I go under contract? Right? All these tools that we're learning, all this research that we're doing for you guys, right? This is for you guys to to have some in your head who's like, hey, where the market is trending, where all this where the interest rates are. But how good is this information if we're not going to use it? Right? If your client is asking you, hey, show me a property this weekend, and you're saying, hey, I might be busy, or I can't make it, or I have to cancel, guess what? That client is going to go with another real estate agent. They're not going to wait for you guys, especially when we're talking about in coming months that we're going to be requiring, or the MLS is going to be requiring your agreement signed and everything, exclusive or non-exclusive. This is where your client is going to be testing 2 or 3 different agents. So you want to make sure that you are playing the right cards. You are making sure that you're going to be staying on top of the game, and you're going to be following up with your clients, right? Show them when you can show them, right, on regular basis. So if your schedule allows you to show on the weekend, then you schedule everything on the weekend, right? Some of us have part-time or full-time jobs, and you guys are just trying to grind it out so we can close few deals as a real estate agent. It is definitely possible. But you just gotta hustle. You have to make sure you're building relationship with your clients, and it could be quality work. It doesn't have to be quantity. It doesn't have to be 20 clients. It could be two clients that you're showing consistently, and they go under contract, and then you worry about your next two. Right? You have to figure out, hey, how many clients do I have in my database, and how many people I'm showing this week, and what is the potential of me going under contract with them. Right? We have few agents that go literally, crazy, just to put it in that way, where they really want to be under contract. Hey, the offer has been submitted. I'm following up with the listing agent. Hey, when can we make sure that is the offer accepted or not? If it's accepted, I want to get the home inspection done in no time, within 24 hours. I want to make sure that the contract is already gone out. I want to have my buyer sign as soon as possible. Your buyer should not be waiting 2 or 3 days to sign a contract. Right? You as a real estate agent, you want to make sure that, hey, you did the hard part. You brought them all the way up to the contract, and now is his time to sign the contract. And once he signs it or she signs it, and it goes to the listing agent or the seller side, make sure they sign it in timely manner too. There are some listing agents who are not ethical, and they might say, hey, I got a deal, or I got this lead from I got this offer from Julian, but let me see if I can find another deal that's going to be direct buyer for me. Right? They might be selfish, unethical, so you want to take some action on that. Hey, I want to make sure, hey, my contract is out. Why the sellers are not signing right now? And once you're under contract, just following up on weekly basis with the loan officer. Hey, I just want to, if it's a good loan officer, they should be following up with you. Hey, this is what's going on, with this file. Otherwise, it's your job to follow up with them until the closing, because you already took them to the contract, and you already know how hard it is to go to the contract. Now you are already there. Now you both party have signed. Why not follow with the your loan officer or their loan officer, and make sure that we can get clear to close in no time? Okay. We have some agents who are really willing to help your clients with the conditions. I say that, hey, stay away from that. Let anybody that has to do with the mortgage side, that you don't get involved, but just make sure that you're following me on a weekly basis. Hey, Mr. Client, I just want to make sure you spoke with your loan officer and you're clearing your conditions. Okay. And once you hear that clear to close, then you know you're good to go. Now we're going to have a closing in no time. But guess what? Don't get too excited on that note either. We have some files where we're ready to close, we get cleared to close, and then the sellers find out they have an issue. One of the issues that we have is that one of our deals that we're going through, where the seller found out that there was over $100,000 second lien or third lien to the property, and they were not aware of this. Now is a big blow to the whole deal, and we don't know what's going to happen. Most likely, with the sellers, we don't know if they're going to be able to actually sell that house or what that situation is. But just know that, hey, anything can go wrong even on the last minute. Right? There are some things that we simply cannot control, because the sellers have to make that decision, and they're going to be surprised if there's a second lien. This is why your title insurance or your title report is so important, because it pulls everything out, the things that we don't know. Okay. And guys, you guys have to ask your question to yourself. Hey, how many hours am I actually putting into real estate activities? Right? If it's 2 hours, increase that to 4. If it's 4 hours, increase that to 8. I'm talking about in a whole week. Sometimes it's just Saturday and Sunday. Right? We have some dedicated real estate agents who are working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then they're showing sometime, or in the evenings. But majority of the activities is happening on Saturday and Sunday, and they're going under contract. Anything is possible, really depending on your situation and how you're going to handle it. Okay. All right, guys. We as real estate agents, you guys are doing a phenomenal job with your clients, but when they need some assistance or with the mortgage side, we are asking for you to have them come into our office for the mortgage as well, so they can get at least second opinion and see what loan options they do actually have from our mortgage side. Okay, we are licensed in many states now, so if your client is interested, please have them come in. Okay, that will do it from my end, guys. If there's any questions, concerns, please let me know. All right, guys. Yeah, Julian. Yep. Sure.
get clients and close deals.
100%. I highly recommend it. You come in and we can review it. I have agents that are coming in last week too, that's coming in for a presentation. Say, hey, put my picture on the first page, put my picture, all that information, and they're saving it as a PDF, and they're bringing some value to the clients too. So you can come in and we can go through that and make sure your presentation is set up as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, I would try to see like next week. I can't do it this week, probably next week.
Sure. You have my calendar link right on ljagent.com, right? So if you need to schedule it, guys, this is for everybody that on ljagent.com, you can say schedule a meeting with Lucky and you can go from there. Just on that note, too, just last week we added all these social media network links on the homepage. So if you want to follow our realty or mortgage companies, they're all on there too. Okay, we hired a new guy doing social media for us now. So next weeks or coming weeks or months, you guys can see a lot more content being produced by LJ. All right. All right, guys. If there's no other questions or concerns, thank you so much for joining. I will see you guys next time. Take care, guys.